Speaking from Saranda, Rama reiterated that there is no one talking about setting up a camp of ISIS soldiers in Albania, and according to him, ISIS does not even have 600,000 soldiers to be able to send them to Albania. Flora's appeal court judge, Brikena Ukperai, is on the verge of reconfirmation of duty after the Independent Qualification Commission has found that she has cleared all three pillars of vetting. Foreign tourists dominate these days at Kruja Castle and Skanderberg Museum in Kruja. Coming from different parts of the world, they talk with great admiration for touristic offerings and the hospitality found in our country. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Friday the 22nd of June 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. Prime Minister Edi Rama called the suggestions of the establishment of an ISIS camp in Albania as a cosmic contrivance. Rama also had a message for any European who proposes it, even in jest. What a cosmic contrivance, 600,000 ISIS soldiers coming to Albania. ISIS does not have 600,000 soldiers on the ground that it is breaking up. No more 600,000 passengers waiting for the aircraft to come to Albania. Meanwhile, there is no question for anyone in Europe to think that Albania can become part of a mega point of gathering, even for 600,000 ordinary refugees. Even if anyone in Europe suggests such a joke, we will smile with regret and we will suggest a psychologist. But we cannot imagine such things actually happening, said Edi Rama. Rama's statement was made this morning during a public hearing with the residents of the Karahaj village of Saranda. The EU does not have a proposal to set up a refugee camp in Albania. Although the European Commissioner for Migration, Dimitris Avramopoulos, admitted yesterday that the EU is considering the possibility of building refugee centres in Europe, the EU Ambassador Romana Vlahutin made statements confirming for the second time that Albania is excluded as a prospect from any such plan. There are many discussions in Europe, but I make sure to check every potential source, and I have no information to confirm your question. There are no discussions on this issue. There is no proposal on the table for a refugee centre in Albania, said Romana Vlahutin. The ambassador has given her assessment earlier on Albania's negotiations, while in relation to the expected decision by the delegation of ministers sent to Brussels in Tirana, suggesting that it should be positive. On the 28th and 29th of June, EU member states will decide whether or not to open negotiations with Albania. Minister of Infrastructure and Energy, Damian Jignouri, and Minister of Finance and Economy, Arben Ahmetai, presented residents of Krujas district with the concession package negotiated for the national road toll. The concession scheme includes provisions for the residents of the Krujas region, public transport vehicles and frequent users. During the negotiation process with the tendered company, more than 10 consultative meetings with the community and interest groups have been held. The negotiators agreed to postpone the re-implementation of the toll scheme until after the current tourist season. Consequently, it has been determined that the payment requirement will recommence on the 17th of September 2018. We are taking financial risk to solve a social problem since Krujas is a poor area. It is somewhat isolated, there is no alternative path, and we are aware of it. Further, he said the investment is continuing, nearing the completion of the segment from Krujas to Marina, bringing it within the right parameters. We will complete the rest of the segment from Krujas to Marina. Investment has begun and the bridges are being regulated. Soon the contract will be closed for the remainder, and we will also put 2 to 3 overpasses there as it has become a danger zone for citizens. So within the year, the remaining part of the highway will be completed with the appropriate parameters, said Damian Jignouri. Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance and Economy, Arben Ahmetai, said the road presents difficulties in maintenance and high costs, but remains strategic. He clarified the effect on the state budget of the facilitating package negotiated with the construction company. The gross additional effect on the state budget for a year for the next 5 years amounts to about €1.1 million or about 140 million lek. All the discounts you saw for Krujas citizens, for bus lines, for frequent users amount to €48.5 million. When it comes to the payment amount, some may say it's symbolic, some may say it's a burden, but this is the budget situation. This is the situation, and the Prime Minister has decided that the state budget will bear this additional cost of nearly €50 million to offer this substantial discount, said Arben Ahmetai. The public-private partnership that was enacted for this road was considered necessary because of insufficiency to cover such a high cost by the budget. However, residents of this area have warned of their intention to protest, as they will refuse to pay even a 100 lek fee. The Independent Qualification Commission held a hearing with the appellate judge, Brikena Ukperai, with the decision to be made on 25 June. The trial chamber, consisting of Jensila Pine, Valbona Sanjaktari and Ilir Toska, will review the judge's file based on the three criteria of wealth, reputational purity and professional training. Brikena Ukperai is also a candidate for the High Judicial Council. Relator Ilir Toska said that the High Inspectorate of Declaration and Audit of Assets and Conflict of Interests has submitted a positive report that the judge did not hide wealth and made no false statement. The investigation focused on an apartment in Tirana purchased in 2012 in Selita and a car, said Ilir Toska. Her husband has also been investigated regarding his 50% share in the property. Relator Ilir Toska said that there were 12 denunciations from citizens at the Independent Qualification Commission. However, according to the relator, the Commission has come to the conclusion that the denunciations can be solved in court. On her part, Judge Ukperai said that she is familiar with the material and that she stands by that which she has explained. "I think I do my part well for the system," declared Ukperai before the Independent Qualification Commission. The Democratic Party has accused the government of sending businesses to the verge of bankruptcy as a result of tax increases. In a media statement given from the Blue headquarters, DP MP Ilir Toska said that property tax has doubled and that, due to tax increases, businesses are heading towards bankruptcy. From September 2013, there is only one sure fact. Taxes grow annually, but salaries do not. For 5 years, Rama has increased every possible tax for citizens, businesses, students and retirees. This year, VAT tax has been added to small business, but also the property tax has been increased. Today, a business pays an average of 230,000 lek more in property tax than 4 years together. A business in the city of Tirana in 2018 pays a property tax that has been increased by the socialist government to 510,000 lek. Meanwhile, from 2015 to 2017, the property tax equated to 282,000 lek. It is evident across the board. A business with a space of 20 metres squared has doubled in tax. In 2015, it paid 56,000 lek, while today, for the same building, it pays 128,000 lek. Over 100,000 businesses are now facing a doubling of this tax, while the power of the Tirana municipality has used all forms to increase not only the tariffs, but also the price of water. In just 4 months, 5,834 businesses have been closed down. Over the past year, 3,000 more businesses closed down than were opened, said Ilir Toska. The Democratic Party invites businesses to denounce all abusive taxes which are being billed without a property register. Kruja Castle remains one of the main destinations for foreign tourists visiting Albania this summer season. Those who come for the first time speak with admiration about the natural beauties and hospitality that they have found in our country. "I am from England and I am visiting Albania for the first time. Everything looks fantastic," said one of the tourists. The castle and Skanderberg Museum encouraged tourists to learn more about Albania's history. "It is the first time I have come to Albania, and to visit this castle that tells the story of the national hero, well, I learned it is a real source of inspiration. Albania is a beautiful place," said another tourist. While those who have known Albania earlier appreciate the changes the country has experienced. "We know something about your past. I can say that Albania is advancing in every direction. You expect to join the EU in the future and this will better change your country," said one tourist. But while foreign tourists are appearing all over Kruja, Albanian visitors are not difficult to spot either. 2018 has been declared the nationwide year of Skanderberg, and the museum's leaders in Kruja expect this to bring as many as 130,000 visitors. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.